Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you are new here, I would greatly appreciate it if you thumbs up this video and subscribe to my channel. And for all of you, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you actually receive notification when I upload a new video. In today's video, I'm going to be doing this skull mold. I've done this once before as a snow globe with glitter in it. And I will do that again at some point. I wanted to try a different method today. The last one I did had some things I would change in it, adding more glitter than what I did, and a few other things. But today, what I'm gonna do is flip the mold inside out, and I am going to use mica powders to color the roses and the eyes and the rest of the skull. And then I'm going to try, I've never used this before, I'm going to try this glow powder in this yellow glow powder. So I don't know exactly how it works. It's not a mica powder where you can brush it on. At least I tried once on something and it didn't work that way. So I think you have to mix it in. So what I'm going to do is color all of the mold, and then mix my resin together and add some, I'm going to add some black so that it will brighten the colors up once I pop it out of the mold. And then I'm going to add this to the black, and I don't think it should color it. I think what it's going to do is just make it glow, hopefully. Like I said, I haven't tried this yet, so I don't know exactly how that one's going to work, but we will see. We'll try it out together and see how it works. So the colors I'm going to use today are Cobalt Violet Chameleon Powder. This is a super pretty, oops, I just realized I don't have my light on. There you go. This is a super pretty chameleon powder. I'm not sure if it's showing on camera, but you can see a hint of blue and violet as well. So we're going to use that for the roses, along with this also chameleon powder. It's a blue violet red orange. And again, you know, I can't tell if these really show up on camera. On my lens, it's kind of hard to see the chameleon part of it, how it changes color, but we're going to use those two for the flowers, the roses, and then peacock blue. I might add a little bit of peacock blue in there as well. And then also for the rest of it, I'm going to do this Merry Dancers Chameleon Powder. This is very pretty. I love this color. It's one of my favorite colors. As you can see, it's more than half gone. And the eyes, I think I want to do something dark. I'm going to do a black. These, I forget what brand these are. I'll link them down below if you're interested. I'll link all of this down below. But these are the first set of mica powders I got, and I'm not a big fan of them because they're not super pigmented, but they still work. So I want to use them up, and you know, I probably won't necessarily buy them again for that brand. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start by coloring in our flowers here. Alright, so I'm going to start with the blue, violet, red, orange one. And there's no rhyme or reason. I'm just going to kind of fill it in wherever. And you just want to make sure that you get it nice and coated. And I'm going to open up a couple of these so that I can just put them sporadically. And if you get a little extra in there, just knock it out. It's fine. You don't want to have any extra in there. You want to make sure that that there's no excess powder in there, because it will not cure, or it will cure, but you'll see all the powder in there. When you take it out, you'll see the powder specks. So just make sure that you mix it in there really well and tap out any excess. So it's actually kind of a quiet day where I'm at. If most of you that follow me know that I work in a sunroom outside, and now I say it's quiet and then I can hear the birds. But there's usually always some kind of noise going on around the neighborhood that I live in, whether it's gardeners, construction work going on, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff going on. But luckily, the weather's getting a lot nicer. We still have rain here and there. Last weekend we had some rain on Sunday, I think it was. But overall, the weather's been really nice lately, in the 60s and 70s. So what's the weather like where you guys are watching from? I noticed that some of you are from, looks like different countries. So I'm curious to know, where are you guys watching from? And yeah, what's the weather like where you guys are at? I'm curious to know. And so, like I said, it's been nice here. So hopefully it stays nice, because I love sunny weather. I love winter too. It's nice to curl up and, watch a movie with a blanket and, with my husband and everything. But we used to also go skiing, or not skiing, but snowboarding quite often during the winter. But it's gotten to be so expensive. And not only that, my husband broke his wrist at some point and had to have surgery. I had to have surgeries. And so between the two of us having the surgeries that we've had, we just haven't gone to do anything like that. So hopefully, maybe next, people are still skiing here and snowboarding here, because the weather in Tahoe, which is where we would go skiing, is still, they're getting tons of snow up there. So it's good for the people who are still able to go. But like I said, we haven't gone. It's been probably at least 6 or 7 years since we've gone due to surgeries and all that kind of stuff. So all right, so this is looking pretty good so far. I'm really, really enjoying this. Like I said, just make sure that you get it nice and coated in there. And then we're almost done with the flowers and stuff, and we'll move on to the eyes. And again, I apologize if you can hear the noise outside. We also live not far from an airport, so we get all the airport traffic when they have to reroute due to weather and all that stuff. So I apologize if you can hear all that. For me, it's kind of relaxing, because it's kind of like white noise to me. I just sit here and relax and enjoy the sounds. So we're done with the flowers. Now what I'm going to do is take a little bit of little paper towel and some alcohol and just wipe off on the rest of the part that I don't want the color to be on, because you can see it's very flaky and dusty and gets all over the place. So I'm just going to wipe this off. the best I can. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then we'll go in with our color that we were going to do the eyes and all that. Alright, that's good enough. And it kind of, I'm not sure if you can see, there's little like veins right there. So that actually looks kind of cool how it's a little bit darker than the rest of the, you know, it'll be darker than the rest of it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do the blue, the other blue I have. And then we'll do the eyes. So this is the blue that I'm going to do the actual skull in. The, you know, the head part of it. So we'll do that. Ooh, that's going to be a pretty color. This is definitely going to be, you know, when most people, when they think of skulls, they think of like, you know, darkness and, you know, things like that and like dark colors. But it doesn't always have to be that way. I like to brighten things up sometimes. You know, if I was doing this for like a Halloween thing, maybe, you know, it might be cool to do something dark, but I feel like I like to always just, like I said, brighten things up a little bit. So I have a feeling it's going to turn out awesome. And I'm hoping that the glow powder, when I put it in the resin, I hope that it doesn't change the color of the resin, but does what it's supposed to, which is glow. So we'll see. I'm going to fast forward this last little bit, and then I'll come back after my resin is mixed up. So I just wanted to show you guys really quick how this powder gets everywhere. I don't know if you can see it on my hands, and I'm going to lift you up for a second here. I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but it's all over my shirt. So just so you have an idea of how this stuff goes everywhere. It really does, and it's all over. Let me bring it back. It's all over my table right there. So this stuff does go everywhere. So be prepared to have a mess to clean up for sure. All right, I'll be back mixing my resin. All right, we are back, guys. And I'm going to use this acrylic paint, this black acrylic paint, just to, let me see if I can get that in there. Drop a couple drops in to the resin to make it black, as I do not have black pigment paste, so I'm just going to use acrylic paint. You don't want to use too much acrylic paint though, otherwise it won't cure properly, but we're just going to use a little bit to darken it up. I'm going to add just a tiny bit more, and then I'm going to add the glow powder, and also I'm going to add, I just really absolutely love this Heidi flaky iridescent flakes. So I'm going to add just a small amount of that into here too, just to give it a little bit of, you know, a little bit of something extra. And then also I don't know if I mentioned, I am going to use, I have these dollar store rocks. I'll show you in just a minute. They look like little glass pieces. I don't know how much of this yellow glow powder to add, so we're just gonna kind of go with it and see what happens. And let me show you here. It doesn't look like it's changing color at all, so that's good. I think it's just gonna add a glow to it once I put like a black light on it. And I'm gonna dump just a little bit of this in there. And you'll see what that does. It just adds a little bit of a shine, you know, brightness to it. Don't want to do too much because I just want it to be subtle. Alright, so these are not dollar store rocks. I take that back. I apologize. I think I got these from Michael's, but these are glass pieces, like shards. I'm going to dump some of that into my mold here, and what that's going to do is take up some space so that I don't have to use the full amount of resin, and you won't see it in there because I've got such a dark color. So I'm going to pour a little bit in and then dump some resin in a little bit at a time, and I'm going to kind of shake it and make sure that it gets all the way down into the bottom and in through those rocks, or glass pieces. I keep calling them rocks. Dump a little bit more. And then I'm going to dump some more rocks in there. And like I said, this will help take up the space, because otherwise I think this mold uses like 8 ounces of resin or something like that. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my silicone stir stick here and just kind of mix it up. Make sure that it gets really well into there. Alright, so now I think I can pour the rest of my resin. I did a... Oh, son of a... Hey guys, so we're back again, and as you can see, let me move this up just a little bit. I have a new mold here and more resin. So I goofed up when I poured the last one. Deep resin pour, at least the one that I have, is supposed to be 2 parts A and 1 parts B, and I accidentally mixed half and half. So like I said, this is only the 3rd time I've been using this, so I keep forgetting because I'm used to doing half and half. So rather than go on camera again and have you watch me you know, mica powder the whole thing again, I just did it off camera. And I actually have 3 of these molds, so I just used a new one. I have the other one soaking. I emptied everything out and I have it soaking because it's going to be a pain in the butt. But we're going to start over again. I have it mixed 2 to 1 this time. And I'm just going to add the glow powder and a little bit of the paint to make it black. And then also a little bit of this flaky Heidi. And what I'm going to do, I have a total of about 5.5 ounces of resin total here. Maybe just a tiny bit more. What I'm going to do actually is, instead of putting the rocks in, I keep saying rocks, instead of putting the glass pieces in there, I'm going to dump some in here and then mix it up. I think it will help. You won't really see much air bubbles because I have, it's black anyways, it's not clear or, you know, transparent color. But I think it's just easier to do it this way. That way you make sure you get all the spaces, you know, the little crevices in there. So always remember to read your resin mixing. Like I said, I just goofed up and I should have paid attention better, but we all do make mistakes sometimes, so it is what it is. It just sucks now I have uneven amounts of resin, but we'll figure it out. So I've got this all mixed in. I'm gonna dump it in here. And it looks like I may need a little bit more rocks, so that's okay. Glass shards. I keep saying rocks. I don't know why I keep saying rocks. They're not rocks. I just got rocks on the brain, I guess. So I'm going to add more rocks to fill up the space. And then I'll just mix it in. And like I said, you don't have to use these glass shards, or even, you know, you can use like rock pieces. You can use whatever you want to fill in the space. It just depends, you know, what you have. You can use different things to fill it, but I like to use this to fill so that I'm not wasting all that resin, because if you guys use resin, you know how expensive it is. And to waste it is like throwing away pieces of gold, in my opinion. And add a little bit more. That should be enough. I'm going to go ahead and mix this up. Alright, that should be good. I'm just going to get this last few pieces in there. So you see how much I used of those pieces to do fill-ins. That was quite a bit. And I'm realizing now, as I'm lifting this up, trying to make sure it's filled into all the crevices and everything, that these glass pieces are a little on the heavy side. So this piece probably will be a little heavy once it's taken out of the mold. But that being said, that's okay. You can also use lighter items. I don't have any here, but those they do have them at the dollar store. Those little glass beads, they're about like so big. I don't think I have any here, but you know what I'm talking about. They're like a bag for $1.25. You can use those, which I think are not quite as heavy, and honestly they'll probably take up more space and would use less than what I did here, but that's what I had, so that's what I used. So yeah, we're gonna let this set up, and I'm gonna turn my heating pad on since I'll be home for a while. I don't like to leave this on when I'm not home, but since I'm gonna be here, I will go ahead and turn it on for about 4 hours and see if that helps the curing process. But otherwise, I will see you guys when we're ready to demold. Good morning, guys. This is take 2 of trying to demold. I just had a ambulance go by, so it was making a lot of noise while I was recording. So as you can see, I have quite a bit of extras here today. Usually I have like 1 or 2 bonuses, but I've got 1, 2, 3, or no, 1, 2, 3, because this is 1 together. Anywho, in the beginning of this video, when I was pouring this, I realized that I mixed the wrong ratio for the deep pour. I'm used to mixing half and half, and I did that with the deep pour, which is supposed to be 2 to 1. So I took everything out and redid it, and put it on my heat mat here, along with my leveling table. And I put it on for 6 hours instead of like 2 or 4, which are other options. And it actually worked a lot faster. It's the next day and I'm ready to take it out of here. It's not perfectly cured yet, but it's enough that I can get it out. So let's go ahead and do that and see what this looks like. I'm excited because with the glow in the dark that I put in there and all that. And a little bit of glitter, so we'll see. So there you have it. That looks awesome. I love that. It's got the different color roses here and the green blues that I put on the outside for the petals, and the chameleon powder goes from like purple to dark that I put on the bottom on the actual head, and the eyes are really dark too. They're not like super dark because the mica powder that I used is kind of not super pigmented, but it's definitely I definitely love the look of that. So it does look like it missed a little bit of the flower, I mean the leaf right here and on this side, but that's okay. I think it gives it some character. It's supposed to be, you know, full leaf like that. So anyways, I love this. What do you guys think about it? Let me know down below. This is really cool. So what I did to get this extra stuff here is I went into one of my Facebook groups for people that do resin work, and told them that I mixed the wrong ratio and what to do with it, because you can't just throw it in the garbage because it's toxic. So one person recommended to mix the rest of part A that I would need to make it the way that it needs to be. So that's what I did, and it actually worked out. So if that ever happens to you, you can just mix what you need, add to it, and then you can go ahead and use it. This one is still a little bit, I might not, oh there we go, I was gonna say I might not be able to pull this one off as well. This one's still a little bit bendy. I'm gonna leave this one for a minute because I think that one's still a little bit bendy. May have to come back to that one. But that's the lid for this. This is like a little trinket jar. And I just did these off camera because I wasn't sure how this was gonna work, but I thought I would show you guys to show you that you can save, let me get this out here, that you can save your resin if you mix the wrong parts together. So again, this is still a little bendy, but it was enough that I could take it out. So this is the bottom. It's kind of a gold, I'm not sure if it's showing up on camera, but it's a gold and then red reflective a little bit in there with some orange maybe. We'll do this, the top piece last for that, just because it's still a little. And then here, I'm gonna have to cut the edges off of this. I overfilled it a little bit, but this is just like a druzy coaster mold. And I did this is just black with some of the, let me find the, this is the black acrylic paint that I put in there, and I just mixed some of this Heidi in there. And then also some of the glow-in-the-dark paint that I also put in the skull. So there's that. And I'll just clean these up off camera. I'll just show you just really quick though. You just take an X-Acto knife, or if you have a burring tool, and you see how easy, especially since it's still kind of bendy, comes off real easy. So that's all you have to do with that. But I'll finish that off camera. And now, this is one of my favorite molds. This is the word love. Sometimes this is hard to get out. I've actually had one break on me before, but because this is still a little bendy, I think that that it might be okay. And again, I'm gonna have to do some cleanup here, which is fine. But, and you know what? Yeah, let me see if I can. May not be able to get you totally in view here. I'm gonna put this backwards, so it's not gonna be a surprise for you because you'll see it, but it's easier to take it out this way, I've found. Wow, that looks pretty cool so far. Yeah, this is the easiest way to take it out. So if you have any kind of mold that has words like this, like there's another one, I don't have it, but it says home, I think, or something on it, with also a heart. It's pretty cool. This is the easiest way to take it out. Because you definitely have to be careful, because the right here where it connects, it's that's where I had it break one time, between the V and the E. So it's very even when it's cured, it's harder, or it's even more susceptible for it to break apart right there, because it's harder. So again, I'm gonna have to do some cleanup on this, but I'll do that off camera. But that looks cool. It's got those glass that I put in there to take up space. So that looks really cool. You know, for someone who doesn't, you know, who's anti-Valentine's, I think this would be kind of cool because it's black, not red for love and all that. So, yeah, so I like this. So, I mean, it could be for either, or someone who does like Valentine's, because Valentine's doesn't have to be just red. But anyway, what do you guys think of that? I really like it. I think it's cool. All right, let's see if I can get this guy to come out. Like I said, this is still quite a bit bendy in some areas, so we're gonna do our best here. I just don't want to unshape anything, if that makes any sense, trying to get it out, because the ridges here are, you know, they have not bevel, but they have, you know, edges there, and it looks like it may have, I don't know what it did here, but that's okay. We'll figure it out. This is, I'm not necessarily selling this. This is probably going to be for myself, so that's all right, because it did look like it messed up the teeth a little bit. I call it the teeth, but the grooves where it goes into. And hopefully, oh, perfect. So I'm going to push this down just a little bit so that it's, yeah, and that definitely, I should have waited for this, but that's all right. Because you see the teeth right there are smushed in now, so it may not lay flat into where it's supposed to. But, oh, it actually does. It actually sits in there pretty well. But regardless, like I said, this is just for me anyways. So, yeah, so you have your bottom here, which is kind of a red gold. And then I did the top in kind of like a green gold reflective. All right, so there you go. You have your my skull mold that I did. This is my favorite so far. It's dark looking, but yet it has some color to it, if that makes any sense.
Oh,
it's not like, oops. It's not, you know, like super, super dark and, you know, dreary looking. But I really like this. That's my favorite piece so far. And then I think this would be my second favorite piece. So let me know what you guys think about these all down below. And again, you know, I should have waited for this, but it is what it is at this point. And we're just going to go with it. I can always make another lid by itself. And I may do that because it sucks to have pieces that are messed up like that. But I should have waited for that. But anyway, let me know what you guys think down below. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe, and also hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any future uploads. So that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Bye.